Karen Weekly, her head coach, says, you know what, she may be one of the best athletes, if not the best I have ever coached. That leadoff position, she just does it so well. She is a massive impact for the Lady Vols.
Well, for Florida State, their impact player is Sydney Sherrill, their third baseman. She is a doubles machine at the plate, but defensively at third base, one of the best defensive players in the country.
It's a Florida State team that was in the championship series in Oklahoma City a year ago. In fact, the Game 1 winner in that series was senior Danielle Watson.
Yeah, Danielle Watson is a player who has really developed under the tutelage of Lonnie Alameda, her pitching coach. She's a senior this year, came from Louisville. And you saw her grow up as the season went on, specifically, as you mentioned, Beth, at the Women's College World Series, where she stepped up and got to pitch on the big stage.
And it will be Kiki Malloy atop that lineup. They scored 11 runs and run-ruled the Fighting Irish this afternoon, and were very clutch at the plate and swinging away on that first pitch. A liner snagged by Ashley Morgan, one down.
Kiki Malloy just aggressive right off the bat. That home run in the first game, first pitch swinging, same here.
Number 13, Amanda Ayala.
To bring up Amanda Ayala, she had the walk-off two-run single to get the run rule win earlier. Both sides coming in undefeated, both ranked in the top 25 to start out the new year. And one of the big stories for this Tennessee team, the retirement of longtime co-head coach Ralph Weekly, as his wife Karen takes over for her 21st season. But Amanda, the big hire was Chris Malveaux, the former hitting coach at Missouri, now in Knoxville.
Yeah, who made really big waves with what Missouri's offense was able to do the past few years. Larissa Anderson is the head coach. And I will say, Chris Malveaux is an Aggie. Got to get that in there. But really, he is one of the most sought-after hitting coaches in the entire country because of the power, the plate discipline that his teams are able to provide at the plate.
It's that back coverage of the zone, the way he teaches that bat head staying in as long as possible. And I love the story that Karen Weekly mentioned, right? She kept asking people, like, who would you hire if you had to hire a pitching, excuse me, a hitting coach? And Chris's name just kept popping up.
Go get the guy from Missouri. That was the line, so that's exactly what she did. Slow roller Sherrill, one of the best in the business, covering the bag at third, two down.
So you're going to see Danielle Watson throw with pretty good velocity. Her fastball can get up to 71 miles an hour, 68 to 71. And then it's interesting, her rise ball is actually a little bit slower, more in the mid-60s. She gets really true backspin on that pitch. What she's been working on coming into this season is developing that changeup to be able to throw 3 speeds more consistently.
She went 2-0 in their debut weekend, only allowed a couple of hits and struck out 14. Now in her second year in Tallahassee after transferring from Louisville. Absolutely crucial down the stretch last year alongside Catherine Sandercock. And really turning around what had been a very frustrating regular season into an unbelievable run through the postseason to get all the way to the Champ Series.
Sounded familiar, like 2018?
Yeah, like they've been there before.
Lonnie Alameda has done an amazing job with this program. 2 times in the last 3 years to the finals. The win in 2018, they lost in 3 games to Oklahoma last year. That one hits Ashley Morgan, the 2-out base runner.
Gonna work a rise ball or a fastball up and in her hands. She likes to live at the top of the strike zone, Ms. Watson.
The number 4 hitter, Zeta Pooney, the sophomore from Carson, California, who won a championship last year with Oklahoma. She was hurt much of the season, decided to move on. And it's a story we will revisit throughout the day today, but a lot of new faces and newcomers up and down this Tennessee lineup. Big impact from their freshman class as well. Hard hit shot right back up the middle out to center field. Kerr will hustle it in. 2 on with 2 outs after the Pooney base hit.
Oh, Pooney just aggressive on a pitch that's a little bit sweet, left high and over the plate and punched right back past Watson. But look at how quiet. She gets that front foot down and that coverage that we talked about, getting that barrel through the zone and just driving the ball back up the middle.
It's the same lineup they beat Notre Dame with earlier. Everybody in the batting order got a base hit in their win this afternoon.
Well, and I will say, that looked like just a ground ball that was going to go up the middle and barely skate through, but even that ground ball had power behind it, and that's something that Chris Malveaux, that Karen Weekly told us, has brought to this offense. They're getting more consistent, hard contact, and you don't have to hit a perfect line drive, a perfect home run in order to get a hit. Sometimes it might be a hard-hit ground ball up the middle just like that, but if you have more velocity, more power behind the swing, you're more likely for that to be a base hit than just a ground ball to second.
He's got a hungry group of hitters to work with as well.
And he's so good too about having a plan. They're knowing that Watson is going to be more up in the zone. She gets the top half of the ball and makes something work with it.
Here's Mckenna Gibson, the DP, a freshman from Southern California, prep All-American. One pitch. Checked foul.
And I don't know if you guys feel this way, but I feel like with the coaching changes and Ralph Weekly no longer being in the dugout as he was the co-head coach with Karen Weekly for so many years, and new transfers, new hitting coach, I just feel like this Tennessee team has a completely new look. Lots of freshmen, lots of transfers, a deeper pitching staff, just has a totally different vibe.
And the strikeout for Danielle Watson to end the threat as the Lady Vols will leave a pair on.
Danielle Watson using that rise ball up in the zone, the rotation, big pop of the glove, 70-mile-an-hour rise ball, getting it done for the K.
One of the breakout stars of last year's postseason, Florida State's Kaylee Mudge. A World Series record, 14 hits in Oklahoma City last year. She also tied a World Series record with a 5-hit game. She's number 2 in that lineup. Janai Kerr is back from an injury, and Mac Leonard on the other side of her batting third is a big transfer from Illinois State. So a new look to lead things off for the Seminoles. We've talked about it off the air, Michelle, but Florida State and Arizona maybe the 2 teams that lost the most due to graduation, and big shoes to fill in their lineups this year.
Well, and both those programs absolutely capable of just reloading, right?
Yep.
We see that with the recruiting, the history of the programs. A lot of athletes in line that want to plug in those positions once they're vacated.
Janai, a big-time recruit, the 2-time Georgia High School Player of the Year. It was an ACL injury last season. And you see the brace still on that left knee. Only ended up playing in 4 games. Spectacular last weekend to get things going. Had a home run, drove in 5 runs. And she and Mudge could be an absolute bear to deal with for opposing pitchers to start out games.
Yeah, you're not lying, because before she tore her ACL, I was watching Florida State play, and she caught my attention every game. She is explosive, only 5'3", but has power, all flies off of her bat.
Well, that's a typical Lonnie Alameda type offensive player too. A lot of speed, right? Likes to create havoc, hits for really good average. So always applying pressure to the pitcher as well as the defense.
After the first weekend, they had the best batting average and the best ERA in the country. A pretty good combo, and Kerr sends that one out to right. Ayala fighting off the sun, 1 down. Out in the circle, just an inning work under her belt so far this year, Bailey McCacken.
Well, McCracken is going to live in the mid to low 60s, has that great movement with the curveball, how you typically see lefties will move the ball inside to lefties away from the zone. But really the key for Bailey is that she has to get ahead. She has to control her nerves. Last year as a freshman, she was outstanding, would get herself in trouble, and you could just see she started to melt down. That's one of the things that Karen Weekly talked with me about, really working on getting her composure, demeanor set in that circle so that she can dominate.
Well, the team has already suffered a bit of a jolt here at the St. Pete Clearwater Elite Invitational. Our best wishes to Ashley Rogers, who had to leave their first game earlier today, get checked out at a local hospital. She will not return to play this weekend, and our best wishes for a speedy recovery as she is resting back at the team hotel, we are told. And they'll do some further tests when they get back to Knoxville.
Definitely wishing the best for her and for the other pitchers on the Tennessee staff. This is a huge opportunity for them.
Kaylee Mudge right back to McCackron. 2 down.
Michelle, you were good when we spoke to each coach about asking each coach coming into the season, because we got a chance to talk to them before the first weekend. Hey, what's your X factor? In order to get to the Women's College World Series, what does your team have to do? And right away, Karen Weekly said immediately, we have to pitch behind Ashley Rogers. And so this weekend is setting up the other pitchers for experience early.
Well, and it's interesting too, because when someone like your ace, like Ashley Rogers, goes down, let's say, or is unavailable for the weekend, as a pitcher in the circle, you're not looking in the dugout or in the bullpen for her to be warming up, because you know mentally, okay, this is mine. I have to own it.
Leonard to short, tough to handle, and Mac will be safe. Ivy Davis tried to one-hop it, and a 2-out base runner here for the Seminoles.
Talked a lot about Tennessee's transfers, but a transfer of Mac Leonard enters the lineup for Florida State right there in the 3 spot. It was hit off the end of her bat, created tough spin for Ivy Davis, a shortstop, and that's going to go down as a hit.
All Leonard did last week, by the way, was hit 700 with a home run. And a good start for her, as Kaylee Harding will now step in, the sophomore from Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Led Florida State last year in runs batted in. Huge contributions deep into the postseason from the Florida State youngsters a year ago, and now 1 year more mature, 1 year under their belt. She had a home run in the Champ Series in that Game 1 win over the Sooners. And also had one of the best defensive plays of the Champ Series as well. She got a strong arm out in the outfield.
I saw that highlight just a few days ago, and I was like, wow, I didn't forget about that play, but wow, I forgot how good it was.
Gets a hold of that, rips that one deep to left, and it is gone. Seminoles jump in front, the 2-run home run with 2 outs off the bat of Kaylee Harding.
Kaylee Harding is going to get all into a pitch that's up in the zone. It's a 2-1 count, and she just explodes on it. Look at the rotation and the way she barrels this up, just drives this ball hard. Really good rotation. This Florida State team packs a lot of punch.
Two-out, 2-run home run for Harding and a 2-0 FSU lead. Opening game here for the Noles. They have 5 games, all against ranked opponents, with Texas, Michigan, and UCF coming up, and then the primetime showdown Sunday night against UCLA.
Just feels like Florida State loves this tournament. Remember how they played the last time that we were here in 2020?
It was off the heels of their national championship, and they blew through everybody, beat Oklahoma. They won the weekend, if you will.
That's right. Yeah, they almost look like the Women's College World Series was over on Wednesday, and they were playing again on Thursday. I mean, you wouldn't have thought it was 8 months later.
Yeah, that's true.
They are one of 4 national champions in this year's field. We have half of the preseason top 10 with us over the next 4 days. As McCackron responds, gets the strikeout of Sydney Sherrill, but not before Harding goes yard.
Harding making a statement for Florida State, a big bomb. Puts Florida State up 2-0.
St. Pete Clearwater Elite Invitational, presented by Wilson, is brought to you by Visit St. Pete Clearwater, Florida. And Wilson Fast Pitch, leaders in softball innovation.
Oh, the white sandy beaches of the Gulf, the pinkish hue of the Don Cesar world-famous hotel here in Tampa, St. Pete Clearwater. Fun and sun around the bay, and softball is back. And we are off to a quick start here. Top of the second, Kaylee Harding 2-run home run has the Noles on top of the Lady Vols. ESPN networks continuing tonight, all day tomorrow, all day Saturday, all day Sunday. Good to see the green grass again. I smell burgers cooking underneath us.
Any popcorn?
You know, I had a tooth pulled the other day, so I'm on a little popcorn hiatus right now. Dentist orders.
That's right.
But soon enough, Scarborough. Got the lemonade and pretzels. They got a beer garden that's going to be open tomorrow.
Fan zones. Oh, it's a great place to be.
So much going on.
Danielle Watson induces the fly ball out to Janai Kerr. One away as Ivy Davis is retired. So you got the newcomer Kerr out in center. You've also got behind the dish Michaela Edenfield, who takes over behind the plate. That graduating class that included Anna Shellnut that has moved on. Lizzie Mason, Danny Morgan, Cassidy Davis, Kaylin Arnold, 5 starters from last year's national finalist. 4 of those starters from their national championship team. Of course, Sydney Sherrill still around at third base from those 2 teams.
Sydney, just a freshman when they won the national championship, was playing second base. Now over there at third.
That's right. And as a result of their success, they got recruits like Kat Sandercock to come to Tallahassee and try for even more trophies.
And it's really just like, you know, I'm just going to take the focus to the circle because we just saw Kat.
Because that's where you always take the focus.
But it just they continue to get better and grow because of Lonnie Alameda, their head coach and pitching coach.
Leach pops it up right side. Flaherty under it, 2 down.
She's a pitching whisperer, and I feel like she's a culture whisperer as well, because the way that she's able to get her teams to buy in and become more united toward the end of the season is just really always something special to watch.
Spent the summer with the Canadian Olympic team.
Yes.
Helping them to. And our partner in crime, Danielle Laurie, the Dilo with the Velo, to a medal.
That's right.
Taking home bronze, the U.S. silver, Japan with the gold.
And Danielle raves about getting a chance to work with Lonnie.
Lair Boutte, one of the newcomers for Tennessee, has made her presence felt already. Freshman out of Riverside, California. Hitting in the 8th spot in the order. Had a couple of base runners in the first, and then Watson took care of it, and she'll get 3 fly balls here to take care of business in the top of the second. Check out the upcoming schedule of games brought to you by Wilson. Got Michigan and Coach Hutch in the house. Starting things off at 10 a.m. on ESPNU against the fighting Michelle Smiths, who were at the World Series last year for the 2nd year in a row. Washington's in town, so it's Texas, South Florida, and LSU. Check them out tomorrow afternoon. We'll have the call for you. LSU, Oklahoma State on ESPNU. Love these early season matchups. You get to talk about conference bragging rights. Which conference is better than the others?
And we didn't have that a ton last year.
No. Great to have the Big Ten back nationally. Remember last year they were only playing a conference schedule. They only got 3 teams into the NCAA tournament. Not the ideal situation, but they're back and making some noise early on. Edenfield has her hard shot knocked down by McCackron. Bailey seems to be okay, 1 down. It's 6, 7, and 8 in the lineup. Different so far, the 2-run home run with 2 outs in the first inning for Kaylee Harding. And that'll bring up Devin Flaherty, junior out of Sarasota. Had 6 hits, scored 6 runs in their opening weekend.
A lot of lefties in this lineup for Florida State, but they do a good job of hitting off of Bailey McCracken, the lefty herself. A lot of balls going right back up the middle, which tells me her curveball's a little bit too sweet, a little bit too much on the plate. And that pitch there, a changeup, she needs to use that a little bit more effectively. Run that curveball away from the lefties.
I think this is one of the big things for Noles fans, guys, is which team is going to show up offensively this year. Remember in years past when they won in 2018, they could smash balls all over the place. Last year, their run to the Champ Series was get on, get over, get in by any means necessary, and that was effective.
And you almost saw that senior class almost weighed heavy on them, the expectation. Offensively, probably not, didn't perform to the level that we would have expected. So I think this year it's like wiping the slate clean, just going out there with a fresh mind and being aggressive. And Lonnie, one of the things she told the team was just to forget about the past, just go out there and play 1 pitch at a time.
Well, I think
rips it foul.
I think opening weekend they hit 460 as a team. So it was like, oh, okay, Florida State offense. But last year, I mean, to your guys' point, they became more about pitching and defense. But this coaching staff is so good that they always figure out a way to win with the team and the roster that they have.
6 home runs from 6 different people coming into this week. Of course, Travis Wilson, Troy Cameron, they added their volunteer, Kaylee Rafter, who was a Canadian Olympian.
Well, the stats were behind it too. I think Sydney Sherrill led their team in hitting, and she hit like 303 for the year. And we're used to seeing really inflated averages for Florida State hitters, like 380, over 400. Still figured out a way to win, though. That's what it's all about. That's what it comes down to.
Flaherty to Davis. Backhands it short. 2 down.
Take care for the Seminoles, number 3, Bethany Keene.
Gonna bring up Bethany Keene, the transfer from USF, a grad student out of Bradenton, Florida. Hit .299 last year, played in the NCAA tournament. We saw him in the regionals at Florida.
Another program. Ken Erickson was the head coach at Team USA, and Georgina Wark is a very good pitcher who is going to be
Georgina Corrick.
Yes, is going to be a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, we got the new head coach of the U.S. national team with us this week, Heather Tarr, and the Washington Huskies.
Gabby Plain, Australian Olympian,
came back.
Yeah, excited to see her.
3-0 to Keene and walks on 4 pitches.
It's definitely the place to be in college softball this weekend right here. If you're you're not here, you're probably watching on TV. If you're not watching on TV, you're probably having major FOMO because you have to work or do something else.
Brooke Blankenship, the shortstop in the 9-hole for FSU.
And to your point, Amanda, it's the environment, right? Kind of has that postseason feel, even though here we are early on in the season.
A lot of people. I mean, it's middle of the day, or what time is it? 4:30.
It is in the afternoon. Yeah. That's Megan Rhodes Smith, the pitching coach, former Lady Vol out there. And let's check in with that Clemson Texas Tech game right now. The reigning ACC regular season champs. They have the 5-0 lead. That's Valerie Cagle with 8 strikeouts already in the game. They're in the top of the 4th and on the field right next door to us.
She wears 72 because she had a goal of hitting 72 miles an hour and wants to hit 72 home runs.
Right.
So
in the season or
in her career?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can't help but look right there at that 72. Oh, that's why.
Well, I wonder if next year she goes to that 73, so try to get it a couple more miles per hour.
Yeah. What a job they have done there from the administration all the way down. They're only a few years old, and they knocked Florida State off the top perch in the regular season. Also, softball newcomers Duke, they knocked Florida State off the perch in the ACC tournament. Challenge this year for the Noles to get back on top as Blankenship flies out for the 3rd out of the inning. 2 complete and a 2-0 Florida State lead. For Tennessee and for the Southeastern Conference, well, Montana Fouts is back, the All-American, off that perfect game at the World Series. Mary Half in Arkansas had a share of the regular season crown with those guys, the Florida Gators. They'll be hosting the SEC tournament. And congrats to Taylor Pleasance, one of a handful of current college players that were named to the U.S. national team to compete this coming summer. There is your preseason coaches poll. Florida and Alabama both look strong opening weekend. Arkansas lost a couple of times to Washington, and there's Tennessee right there, 4th in the preseason poll. We also have LSU and Auburn with us here at the St. Pete Clearwater Elite Invitational presented by Wilson.
And Auburn's come out strong. Hitting the ball, Shelby Lowe.
Yeah, Lowe improved to 4-0 with a 2-hitter as Auburn beat Texas Tech earlier today. Bree Ellis, Jesse Blaine had home runs.
Bashing it.
Nine, and then the top of the order here for Tennessee. This is Caitlin Parsons and Kiki Malloy and Amanda Ayala to face Danielle Watson. Watson, a spot of trouble in the 1st with 2 on and 2 out. She struck out McKenna Gibson, and then 3 fly ball outs in the 2nd inning for Danielle. Trying to put some pressure on the D. Watson with the strike over to 1st. 1 down. What do you think of the strength of the Southeastern Conference? It's the 10-year anniversary of Alabama's national championship, dancing in the rain. Been a few years since Florida went back-to-back. I believe it's 5 years now. Is that considered a drought for the SEC in terms of winning a championship?
That's a good point.
Yeah, because they've definitely had teams talented enough to get to the Champ Series, potentially win the Champ Series, and they haven't gotten it done.
They look strong, though, this year.
Yeah.
Alabama and Florida, Arkansas, the job that Courtney Deifel's done. That, as we've talked about, sort of a refreshed feeling in Knoxville around the Lady Vols with all that's new. So tough in that uber competitive league to move your way up from the middle or the bottom of the pack year in and year out.
And I feel like Allie Shipman, who is a former Tennessee softball player moving to Alabama, was one of the biggest transfers that we had, because now her and Montana Fouts and Lexi Kilfoyle and the rest of the Alabama staff can just get connected with that battery, and to the pop that she adds with her bat. We don't talk about that a ton, but now, I mean, Alabama hit a ton of home runs last weekend, and their offense is really showing off.
There's Kiki Malloy, who lined out her first time up. And a hot shot knocked down by Blankenship, but unable to come up with it cleanly, and Kiki is on for the first time.
So many tools. Kiki Malloy can hit the ball opposite field. That's where her home run was earlier today. This one's just going to take through the 5-6 hole pitch that's up in the zone, and she just bashes it with a lot of power, gets it past Blankenship in that 5-6 hole. So great piece of hitting on a 1-2 count.
Oh, by the way, we will have on the ESPN networks all 3 of the regular season games in the series between Alabama and Florida coming up in April. Knocked down by Watson to second for 1, over to first. Unable to get the double play, but they do get the lead runner for the second out.
That's the other thing I think that Lonnie Alameda does so well, is that her pitchers are very good fielding. They know what the count is, they know what the situation is always, and if they can get that lead runner out, they do it time after time.
This team already, to me, just seems like they're really clicking. The way that they're communicating on defense, even then, a ball hit that hard back to the pitcher takes really good communication between Blankenship, a freshman playing shortstop, and then also Flaherty at second. But Flaherty, being the upperclassman, took control, saying, I'm right here, I got it, and was ready to turn 2. But that's it. It takes really good leadership to do that.
This is big for an infield that led the country in double plays a year ago. They have 3 new starters. Catcher first and short. Flaherty came up and hopped on her. And the throw to first still in time to get Morgan.
This is why you do not give up on a play. Takes a bat hop, she sticks with it, barehanded, throws it on the run for the out. Wow.
How about a look at the Atlantic Coast Conference? Things got shook up a little bit last year, and Florida State still reached the Champ Series. Valerie Cagle led Clemson to the regular season title. Deja Davis leading Duke to the postseason title. And Keely Rochard, the reigning ACC Pitcher of the Year, put a scare into UCLA, and the Supers almost reached the World Series. If you're listening, as you should be, to our 7 Innings podcast, as Janai Kerr pops it up in the infield, 1 down. The bold prediction from our very own Amanda Scarborough was that 2 and possibly 3 ACC teams will make it to Oklahoma City at the end of the year.
Just think they continue to get stronger and stronger. And of course, Florida State started that strength because they were the only team at one point that we were talking about. But Virginia Tech, the way that they've pitched and can hit with Pete DeMore as their head coach, I love the way that Duke and Clemson have burst onto the scene. And then there's more strength within the ACC as well.
Well, Keely Rochard and company are going to be playing Alabama this weekend.
Yes.
That is going to be a great test.
Very good test.
And that's the importance of matchups like this. You've got to start building that resume right away to impress the selection committee, to try and be one of the top 8 seeds to host the regionals and supers. Can make such a difference. Mudge to second, 2 down. Of course, as I say that, Seminole fans would be quick to counter, well, we went down to LSU last year and we won at Tiger Park, so stop talking that nonsense. Here's your ACC preseason poll. Folks think that Florida State will be back on top, followed by Clemson, Virginia Tech, and Duke. We'll have some of those key matchups in the regular season for you on the ACC network this year. I think we're only doing 2,000 games. sorry about slacking off.
Well, and North Carolina has Sarah Jupis now, who is at JMU, and then also their volunteer coach is Odyssey Alexander. So a couple of JMU players that are now in that program.
Here's Mac Leonard, singled back in the first when Florida State took the 2-0 lead. She scored in front of Kaylee Harding on the 2-run home run. Harding on deck. Missouri Valley Conference a year ago at Illinois State. She hits, she pitches. She hits it hard quite often, and she's got her second base hit.
Boy, coming into the game with a .583 average, 2 for 2 now against a lefty. And a lot of times you see the matchup, you're at a disadvantage, and she's just going out and grabbing the ball and just driving it onto the dirt, excuse me, the green. And I love the fact that she just stays with her pitches, reaches out, does something with it.
All right, so Harding again with an opportunity with 1 on and 2 outs. In the opener of the weekend for Florida State, they picked up a midweek win, a nail-biter over South Alabama. Kat Sandercock got the dub, 4-3.
Kaylee Harding is just so even keel at the plate. And she was like this just last year too, even as a freshman. She's a sophomore now, but when she's at the plate, you can tell the game really is able to slow down. It doesn't speed up very often on her.
How about the home run swing?
Yeah, I mean, this is a thing of beauty. Look at this. Up and in, she got her barrel to the ball and just crushed it over the left center field wall. No doubter early in this game, and it's the only runs that we've seen up to this point.
Harding draws the walk, 2 on with 2 out for Sydney Sherrill, who struck out in the first.
Number 24, Sydney Sherrill.
Second free pass from McCackron.
We knew when she struck out, because she struck out last at bat, she was going to go up this at bat swinging. That's how it always plays out, right?
You look up plate discipline in the dictionary and her picture will come up. Remember last year at the Women's College World Series, she had like 7 or 8 walks. Just an incredible eye at the plate. Able to pick out the pitches she wants. Take strike 2 there.
That's been so impressive by this Florida State team, the lefty-lefty matchup. They're winning the battles. And part of that is trusting your hands, right? Allowing the ball to approach you, to travel deep in the zone, and then make those adjustments. Hit it. Is it running into your hands or running away from you?
Full count.
Surprised we haven't seen McCackron throw more change-ups. And it's not like Florida State just ripping the ball off of her, but that is a pitch that it sounded like coming this game that Karen Weekly said is one of her best pitches, and I would think that's a pitch that she could throw for a strike.
Well, we always talk about, right, it's speeds. Either you're using velocity or you're mixing speeds. It spins and it spots. And in my opinion, it's the spots right now that Bailey McCracken is having issues with. She's leaving too many pitches through the middle part of the zone. And I agree, Amanda, if she could just use that changeup a little bit more, she'd be much more effective.
Sherrill got under it in foul territory. Pooney with room makes the catch. They will leave a couple aboard. McCackron able to work out of it. And we will have Karen Weekly on the headset when we come back. Welcome back to the 2022 St. Pete Clearwater Elite Invitational presented by Wilson. 2-0 Florida State over Tennessee as we head to the top of the 4th, and let's bring in Karen Weekly.
Coach, what's it been like these past 2 weekends to have Chris Malvo in the dugout with you?
Oh, it's a lot of fun. I mean, great guy, first of all, just absolutely wonderful human being, but really knows his stuff hitting, and his delivery is wonderful. He's just got a really good manner with our girls, and they're really enjoying working under him.
And Coach, you wanted to develop your pitchers behind Ashley Rogers. How important is this tournament for your young pitchers?
Well, they're getting an opportunity right now for sure. You know, Ashley was a little under the weather earlier, and we had to get her out of there. And so I told them all, hey, this is your chance. This is your chance. So show the world what you can do when you get the ball, no matter if it's one batter, 1 inning, a game. You just go out there and pitch 1 pitch at a time. And I'm really proud of what Bailey's doing so far.
Thank you very much, Karen.
Thank you.
Thanks, Coach.
Karen Weekly, of course, her husband Ralph retiring after 34 years in the biz. He's still a special advisor to the program. Well, what a job they have done. And now Karen moving forward, 7 trips to the Women's College World Series, a few SEC championships along the way. And certainly, as we talked about earlier, our best wishes for Ashley Rogers, precautionary measures to keep her out for the rest of this tournament. Skied down the line and left. And Kaylee Mudge has it 1 down. It's 4, 5, and 6 here in the lineup to face Danielle Watson.
Well, Coach Weekly, when we talked to her, was so excited about this team. Raved about the fall, how it was one of the best falls that they had ever had. Felt like that energy that they built up in the fall was brought into January, and loved their practices, their intensity.
Mckenna Gibson struck out the first. And first pitch swinging back on the grass. Harding coming on, 2 down. It was not the typical Tennessee season a year ago. And as you guys know, what happens as a result is you have a very hungry bunch of Lady Vols coming back this year. They finished in 7th place in the SEC and then lost the regional at home, falling to Liberty and JMU, and got bounced much sooner than they wanted. And it's been a lot of hard work in the offseason to prep for this year and try and write a different script. Here's Ivy Davis, flew out to center in the second. A couple of base runners in the first, another in the third. But Watson has kept them quiet.
Yeah, that loss, Beth, in regionals is a big motivation for this team. Really had a bitter taste with how last season ended.
Of course, they ran into a buzzsaw by the name of Odyssey Alexander.
Right.
That was when we first noticed their deep postseason run that ended up all the way into the national semifinals, the farthest a non-Power 5 had been in a long, long time. Ivy draws the walk.
Well, and it's going to take some getting used to this Tennessee offense, working with Chris Melvo in the dugout, because it's just different to work with your hitting coach in a game and start to get on the same page, speak the same language, because, yeah, they've been doing drills and practices with him, but it's just different whenever you get out on the field and you're finally playing an opponent that doesn't have your same uniform like in practice scrimmages.
Kelsey Leach. Infield pop-up in the second inning for the transfer from Texas Tech. Just arrived a matter of weeks ago in January. And now Lonnie will come out to chat with Danielle Watson. Hey, we got a big women's basketball matchup for you Sunday afternoon. This is exciting, folks. They moved the game back to 1 o'clock on ABC so that College Game Day could roll into town with a full female cast to preview South Carolina and Tennessee. The Gamecocks, #1 in the country, heavy favorites to win a second national championship behind Aaliyah Boston, the leading contender for National Player of the Year honors. Coverage begins at 1 Eastern on ABC, but check out College Game Day prior to that. And of course, if you're out and about, you can stay in it with the ESPN app. It's a big weekend for the ladies. Of course, we have our primetime game, Florida State and UCLA, 7 o'clock Sunday night on ESPN. We talked about Florida State, 2018 champs, UCLA 2019 champs. One of the heroes of that, Kinsley Washington, still around for the Bruins. She had the first walk-off to win a Natty in 27 years. When the Bruins beat Oklahoma. There's a liner out to left, and Mudge read that one well. How about a chit-chat with Lonnie Alameda? That's coming up.
Hey, Ben, you should have Clearwater Blues for a fun photo opportunity.
To the 2022 St. Pete Clearwater Elite Invitational presented by Wilson. Kaylee Harding, a 2-run home run and a 2-0 lead for the Noles over Tennessee as we welcome in Coach Lonnie Alameda.
And Coach, after opening weekend, your team had the top batting average in the country. What was the changes you made this year to really help propel that average up?
I mean, we've got some rookies that had a little more experience under the belt. You know, that's a big thing. You know, obviously getting Matt Leonard in here swinging it. Love what Michaela Neville's doing. You know, we redshirted her, knowing that pour some time and some smarts into her, we get her going. And so just, it's a good vibe going on in the dugout. But still early season, but we're swinging it.
Right now with Danielle Watson, what have you liked about her focus going up against this good Tennessee offense?
Yeah, just, you know, mixing speeds. That's something we tried to develop with her for this season. She's got an elite rise ball, and it's pretty awesome. And so we're trying to sink some pitches and get some changeups going, expand the zone, and just being confident in big moments. And I really like the leadership, and I love the team right behind her right now. They're in her hip pocket. It's pretty cool.
Nice. Thank you very much, Lonnie.
Thank y'all.
From the 2021 Championship Series to the 2022 St. Pete Clearwater Elite Invitational presented by Wilson. Beth Mullins, Amanda Scarborough, Michelle Smith. So great to be back live and in person. It's a packed house here, sold out. Day 1 of 4 filled with softball on the road to the 40th Women's College World Series. Started out with Debbie Doom. That's our first Debbie Doom reference of the new year. The 1982 UCLA Bruins. 30 years ago, it was Jenny Brewster with a walk-off home run to win the national championship. You ready to start feeling older? 20 years since Jocelyn Forrest and the Cal Bears won the national championship. An emotional run for Cal, Diane Ninemeyer. They were all trying to overcome a death in the family for Jocelyn Forrest, and what an emotional ride that was in Oklahoma City. And a base runner to start things off here for Florida State. Michaela Edenfield is on. It's 6, 7, and 8 in the lineup. Score that E4 as Amaya Ross will come on as the pinch runner. Edenfield can re-enter. And now Devin Flaherty popped to short in the second inning. Three innings of work for Bailey McCackron, the 3 hits, one of those the home run ball. She struck out 1, has walked a couple.
See, she's got some really good spin at time. Her drop ball goes down, her curve ball really sharply breaks. But I think that changeup, mixing speeds a little bit more consistently. Quite a few balls off the end of the bat by Florida State. So she's fooling them.
This new look staff also includes Erin Edmondson, the grad transfer from Texas Tech. She picked up the win in relief over Notre Dame earlier today. But then they get young awfully fast. Nicola Simpson, Bailey McCackron, who we're seeing here. Perhaps a Mckenna Gibson, little Riley White, just a sophomore from New Jersey.
Jersey.
Great tomatoes in Jersey, Smitty.
Jersey corn, Jersey tomatoes.
Well, and you think about how
Michelle's
big of
home state.
how big of a pickup that Kelsey Leach was, because they lost Allie Shipman, and then not only do they get Kelsey Leach, but they get Erin Edmondson, and they worked together. They were the battery at Texas Tech. So they bring in experience that knows each other pretty well.
The transfer portal is changing college athletics in a big way. Runner goes. They had to hit and run on there. speaking of some of those transfers, there are some key additions, including Riley White from Texas. Runner goes, the throw down, got her. Leach down to Davis to apply the tag, and Ross is out, 1 down.
We were literally just talking about Kelsey Leach, and check out this throw. It's a ball that's down in the dirt, and she handles it perfectly. That throw is the definition of on the money.
And Devin Flaherty draws the walk.
And think about how big that out was, considering that would have been 2 on base versus now just 1 after that walk.
Interesting that they would run her on a 3-ball count, or did somebody miss a sign to hit and run again?
Well, there were 2 hit and runs earlier in the at-bat, so it does make you wonder.
Well, they'll try and run again, and Flaherty gets the stolen base. They were 6th in the country last year on the base paths. Tremendous speed.
Well, and that's Lonnie. She loves to create that havoc out there. You try to get the shortstop closer to the bag. It opens up the 5-6 hole.
Bethany Keene lifts this in the direction of Parsons, who can't handle it. Second error of the inning on the Tennessee defense, and now you've got 2 in scoring position with 1 out for FSU.
Oh, this looks like it's just caught up on Parsons. She goes back and just overruns it on the backside, comes in and tips off the glove. Ball traveling a little bit from sun to shade, so maybe she loses it as it's coming down, but that's one of those plays as an outfielder. You always do want to go back first, but you have to make sure it's reading the spin, especially off the bat of the lefty. You know it's going to be curving to the line and dropping forward.
Well, that is the only area in the entire field that's in shade, too. So the ball went from being in the light to then going in the shade. Again, the only spot that has a little bit of coverage, which is probably actually nice because you get out of the sun a little bit. But
yeah. So in the number 9 spot in the lineup right now, Lonnie will go to the bench and bring on a pinch hitter, Chloe Culp, who is 1 for 6 on the season, and the miscue out and left for Parsons. So an error in the infield, an error in the outfield, and a chance for Culp.
Well, and one thing that you don't see very often, that everything just happens so fast, but, oh, gotta have pitching change, so maybe I'll talk about it later.
McCachran is out, and a pitching change coming up for Tennessee on the other side.
The new pitcher for the Lady Vols is number 28, Nicola Simpson.
On Bailey McCachran, 3 1/3, 3 hits, including the 2-run home run. And she is responsible for those runners on 2nd and 3rd. Nicola Simpson, the right-handed freshman from Seattle, will now come on. And for Nicola, her 2nd appearance of the season, she has 1/3 of an inning's work under her belt.
I think this entire weekend you're going to hear every single analyst and whoever's calling the game talk about the opportunities that are coming for this Tennessee pitching staff, because we won't see Ashley Rogers. And here Simpson is with a huge opportunity to enter this game and be able to show Coach Weekly and her team that she can shut down Florida State.
Scouting report for Simpson.
And throw in the low 60s. Her go-to is her changeup. Heavily relies on her movement. Showed a lot of improvement in the fall, and she is a hard worker. Coach Karen Weekly raves about her. Just doesn't take a day off.
So a showdown here with the pinch hitter Chloe Culp, 2 on base for Florida State. Swinging through it, strike 1. Well, these are the kind of moments you come cross country to play in the SEC. You got to be all right with a little heat in your kitchen.
That's right. A little bit of pressure. You feel your defenders right up your back because there's runners in scoring position, so the infield is in. And what does she do? A couple of really good pitches with late sharp movement, nice drop balls, but you want to try to do some ground balls in this situation.
Her one hit led to an RBI. Chop to third. They'll make the play to the plate, and it hits the base runner. Flaherty, who will slide in safely. Zeta Pooney tried to hook up with Leach, but a good job by Flaherty to stay right down that baseline and slide in safely, and the ball ends up hitting her in the back.
Well, Florida State always aggressive. They're going to go on this, make the tough out. Now Pooney, you can see the throw at sidearm. It bleeds back into the runner. This is a throw. This is the play you need to be able to make. Come over the top, throw a strike to your target to be able to make the force, to make the tag out. So, you know, that is an executed play that needs to be made. It's one of the things, you know, Tennessee will go home and practice that many times to make sure next time they have the opportunity to grab that out.
Well, and great base running, too, by Flaherty. Knowing her speed, as soon as she saw that ball down, she was taking off without hesitation. Even a perfect throw, that would have been a close play at the plate. Might have even gotten in there.
Still just the one out. Runners on the corners, and top of the order coming up for the third time, and a throw out into left field, and another run will score. Deanna Riggs, the pinch runner, comes in, and it's 4-0.
Missed bunt there. First and third situation. She squared around, but Kelsey Leach, we saw her make that great throw on the steal, and that one, I don't think she fully believed in the throw, held on to it, and it got to the outfield.
And I don't think that was quite a suicide, but she was, the runner was definitely coming down. You know, sometimes Florida State good at being aggressive again. So is that a calculated play where they miss the bunt, they come down, you're diving back, forcing the defense to try to make a play? A throwing error, they put another run up on the board.
Hey, why not put some pressure on? They've already had 2 errors in the inning. Now it's a 3rd error in the inning. This one charged to Leach on the throw. RBI opportunity for Janai Kerr. To the right side, that will advance the runner. 2 down.
And just look at how, this is what I was going to say before the pitching change, but how aggressive that Florida State is on the base pass, because they got thrown out. That was just this inning that Kelsey Leach threw out the runner at second base. But then immediately after that, they stole again. So they're going to be aggressive on the base pass. They're going to make things happen, and you pair that with Tennessee's defense really not looking good this inning.
Here's Kaylee Mudge. Smitty is about to step on her soapbox about allowing the bottom of the order to hurt you, and it started with a walk, Michelle.
Oh, the walks, they always kill you. You gotta make them earn their way on base. But again, to your point, Florida State just so good at mixing things up. To me, that's a calculated play with the runner coming off, missing the bunt. It looks like, oh, did we miss the suicide, right? As a defender, you buy into that because you're like, oh, I'm gonna pick you off. And then before you know it, throw into the outfield, and another run's up on the board.
Mudge is 0 for 2, a couple of ground outs.
Just a team that's so good at sticking with their game plan, believing in it, buying in, knowing who they are.
You don't, well, what bigger confidence builder was there than the finish to last season? They were done. They could have mailed it in, go home, season over, and just really when she was inserted into the starting lineup is when things started to come together.
That's true.
And she helped take them on a ride those last 14, 15 games of the season. It was a totally different Seminole team that never quit on the year.
Well, and you think the opposite of that. Tennessee's defense, knowing that Ashley Rogers can't pitch the rest of the weekend, they've got to find a way to step up and make plays for their team. They've got to have their pitchers back.
Here's Leonard, 2 for 2 with a run scored, a couple of singles for Mac.
Well, this is a learning situation for the defense as well. You've got new pitchers in the circle. How does the ball come off the bat when Bailey McCracken is throwing? How does the ball come off the bat when Nicola Simpson is throwing? They're very different ways, I can promise you that. And so as a defender, you have to figure that out. How's the ball, you know, spinning when it's a lefty versus a righty? All those little things make a big difference. We've obviously seen already a couple of errors this inning because of that.
So true.
First and third situation here. Again, Florida State will try and put some pressure on, and diving back in safely just in time. Blankenship, excuse me, Culp got back to the bag.
To me, it's close play at third, but to me, in this inning, Florida State are sharks smelling blood in the water.
Leonard is the Mac Daddy on that two-run home run swing.
That's a home run for Mac Leonard.
How about
A three-run shot, excuse me.
Yeah, and how about a third hit of the day on a 1-2 count? You talk about being able to hit with 2 strikes. She's just going to go down and barrel this ball up, and it just explodes off the pad. A line drive home run over center field. Mac Leonard coming in to this game at 583. She is a hitting machine. 4th RBI of the game with that 3-run home run.
A 5-run 4th to bust this thing open for FSU. Leonard and Harding with home run balls. And here is Kaylee, who hit hers back in the first. Second game of the day for Tennessee after their run rule win over Notre Dame. They have fallen behind here against 6th-ranked Florida State. Their next game, 5th-ranked Washington. And then number 12 Clemson and number 24 UCF, the rest of their slate here at the Eddie Seymour Softball Complex.
So many free passes in this inning, or freebies. A couple of errors, walks.
Harding with a hard hit ball right back up the middle. And she is on board for the 3rd time in 3 plate appearances.
Harding just knows that Simpson has to come more on the plate, and she does. That pitch is right down the middle. Harding is able to be on time and just square it up.
Simpson, after giving up that 3-run shot to Harding, she falls behind 3-0, tries to battle back, but that's tough when you have a number 4 hitter up with power.
Well, we talk about this all the time. When you're playing a lot of games in a short period, you now have an opportunity, if you're Florida State, put up another run here. Now you're in run rule territory heading into the 5th inning. You could put Tennessee really up against it with one more at bat. Mac Leonard with a whisper in the ear of Sydney Sherrill.
Well, and to your point, Beth, this is Florida State played last night against South Alabama, won that game 3-2, then showed up here in Clearwater. They're playing 5 days in a row.
I was just doing that.
Fingers. That's a lot, 5 days in a row.
Yeah.
But think about what they did. It's the same thing at the Women's College World Series, right?
Autumn Belvey is the pinch runner at first. And here is Sherrill. And another successful steal attempt. Uncontested. Sherrill, the 9th Knoll to the plate this inning. Grounded to short. Davis stays down on it, fires to first. A 5-run 4th inning for FSU. The bomb from Mac Leonard leading the way.
Their second home run of this game. Mac Leonard has looked so strong and powerful up at the plate in this game. What a great addition to this Florida State team. Mac Leonard with the 3-run bomb.
Fans, are you looking?
Couple of home run balls for Florida State. They take advantage of some dicey defense from Tennessee and a 7-0 lead as we head to the top of the 5th inning. After the big 5-run fourth, highlighted by the Mac Leonard 3-run home run, all got started with the bottom of the lineup for Florida State. Eight, 9, and the top for Tennessee. Here's Lair Boutte. So far for Danielle Watson, 4 innings of work, just a couple of hits, a walk, and a strikeout. Only one base runner has reached second base so far, and that was back in the 1st inning. Boutte goes oppo, and that'll find the gap up against the fence out in left center. Boutte thinking 3, and she's there.
Lair Boutte is going to get a mistake from Danielle Watson. Watson has lived on the corners all game long, has limited the hits, but look at the location of this pitch. It's over the zone and it's elevated, and Boutte from the left side is just going to bash it the opposite way. And I love the fact that she sees the play in front of her, she sees the ball off the wall and goes for that extra 60 feet. Lead off triple.
Sherrill fires to first. Keene couldn't hold on, may have gotten lost in the sun, and a run will score as Boutte comes home. Got the sunglasses up on top of her visor, and it looked like she was bothered on the throw.
Yeah, that's where the sun is, and Sydney Sherrill's able to field this, but the ball just gets lost in the sun, and Keene just throws her glove up, just hoping that her glove is going to be wherever the throw is. Tennessee putting pressure now on Florida State's defense, and a little lucky there with the sun ball.
That's right for Lady Balls, number 9, Kiki Malloy.
Well, she chooses to keep the shades up on top of her lid as Kiki Malloy will come on. Runner in scoring position. And it's back to the top of the order, so the 3rd time through now for these Tennessee bats.
Trying to put the ball on the ground a little bit more too. They've had some flyouts against Watson and a couple bunt opportunities there with Parsons, and then Malloy trying to lay it down. She did that beautifully in the 1st game.
Second-team All-American last year. That 5-tool player that you love to watch. Comes from an athletic family, great instincts, great softball IQ, according to Karen Wheatley. She's going to be one of those players that'll have to be a difference maker if they are to contend in the SEC this year. Got her to chase the rise. It gets away from Kaya Lepresti. The throw down to first in time to get her.
That is a great recovery. Holy cow.
Yes.
Lepresti going back. This is a rise ball, goes off of the glove. That's an elite rise ball, late sharp break, but Lepresti, she's going to barehand it and guns it down to Bethany Keene, and it is a great call by the umpire. That is millimeters. And yeah, Watson's like, she's out, she's out, she's out.
Presti just checking in behind the dish to replace Edenfield. Opposite way, base hit, and a run will score. So the Tennessee bottom of the order gets on board, and Amanda Ayala with the RBI single.
Nice piece of hitting by Amanda Ayala. That pitch was over the middle of the plate. Didn't get up enough, didn't get out enough, and she just stays on it. Beautiful piece of hitting to drive that ball to left field. Keep this rally going.
Number 3 hitter Ashley Morgan hit by a pitch in the first, grounded out in the fourth. Pops it up. Watson gets out of the way for Cheryl, 2 down. And now it's the number 4 hitter, Zeta Pooney. 1 for 2, singled in the first. Well, we've seen the sun an issue. We've seen the shadows even a bit of an issue out in left field here this evening. Putting the ball in play at both sides. Not many strikeouts in this one. Good rip by Pooney with foul.
Florida State's so good at defensive positioning. Kaylee Mudge, the left fielder, is basically playing with their heels back against the warning track. That positioning helped out earlier in this game, but they really look at the data, they look at the charts, they look at exactly where the tendencies of every hitter are, and not only just the hitter, but where the tendencies are off of this specific pitcher.
But we are really seeing the analytics start to catch up now in softball, and there is a wealth of information now available out there. Talked to Texas coach Mike White before this tournament. He anticipates we'll see a lot more shifting.
Yeah.
Like we see in Major League Baseball as a result of all the analytics now that you can get in softball.
Well, and so in baseball, we've always had the trends of what hitters are doing, but also what pitchers give up, right? And so now we're starting to see that it's not just the hitters. Is this a pull team or is this an oppo team?
Cheryl through the wickets. So a reminder for both sides, it's early in the season. It's the 5th combined error of the inning.
This is just a slow developing play. There's a lot of English on this, and Cheryl stays back. She doesn't go in advance and go get this ball, and sometimes that's just when you get eaten up.
Couple runs in here in the top of the 5th for Tennessee, and now a couple more aboard with 2 outs. Mckenna Gibson is due up. She does have bat in hand. Looks like they're going to get a pinch hitter on. That'll give us a chance to check in on our other game that just finished up. Clemson and Texas Tech. Tigers a chance to walk it off, and they do. JoJo Hyatt, a 3-run triple, and the run rule win for the Clemson Tigers. They will play Tennessee tomorrow night. Gibson struck out in the first, the only K of the day for Watson before she got Malloy here in the 5th. To the right side, and room at first for Bethany Keene. A couple in, a couple more left on board. A 7-2 FSU lead. Here is our game track presented by Wilson and Florida State with the 7-2 lead. A couple of home runs. A 2-run shot from Kaylee Harding, a 3-run shot from Mac Leonard. It's the game track brought to you by Wilson. Beth Bowens, Michelle Smith, Amanda Scarborough with you. And as Lonnie Alameda does, she huddles not only with the current pitcher, but that whole staff. They like to talk things through together. There's Kat Sandercock looking on. Kat got the win in their game yesterday against South Alabama. Tennessee a bit of a reprieve with the 2 runs in the top of the 5th, but the run rule would be in effect here for Florida State if they can have another big inning. 8-run rule. We've already seen a couple of those today. Actually, 3 of the 4 games today, as Clemson just got one. Wisconsin run ruled UCF, and Tennessee run ruled Notre Dame in their first game today. So glad to have Kayla Contwent back. The former Big Ten Player of the Year was out of the game last season. She returns for Wisconsin. Had a home run, drove in 4 in Whiskey's win over UCF. First at bat for Lopresti, who came on defensively behind the dish, the junior from nearby Brandon, Florida. We're across the bay here. St. Pete Clearwater Elite Invitational, presented by Wilson. It's been just a gorgeous day today, our opener of this 4-day fest. Fans are loving it. You can sit at the stadium all day. You can bring your bathing suit. You can bring your golf clubs. We will see Conwent and Wisconsin in our final game of the night, 6:30 Eastern. And that's on ESPN Plus, the Badgers and the Fighting Irish. There we are up in the press box. Hello. Yeah, so for the weekend, you need the Plus, you need ESPNU, you need ESPN for our primetime game on Sunday night. Florida State, UCLA, 7 o'clock Eastern. ACC Network, SEC Network. We got a couple of Texas games on the Longhorn Network. As Lopresti lines one out to left, and Kaya is on board. All 9 came to the plate in that 5-run 4th, and she leads off the 5th with a base hit.
Preste on an inside pitch, just rotates on it. I love the way, look at the way she pulls those hands in to barrel up that ball, just drives it down the line. Not trying to overhit it, jam herself up, just barrels it up and gets it down the line for a big leadoff base hit.
A little off the plate, too.
Yeah.
Good job by Parsons to keep that from going to the fence, too, or else it would have been a double.
Christina Hartley comes on as the pinch runner.
Batter number 9, Devin Flaherty.
And here's Devin Flaherty, popped up in the 2nd, walked, stole a base, and scored a run in the 4th. She was Florida State's hits leader last season. Got a big college basketball triple header coming your way on Saturday. Paulo Banchero and the Duke Blue Devils will be taking on the Florida State men. That gets underway at 6 Eastern. Then it's Kansas headed to Morgantown to face West Virginia, the 6th-ranked Jayhawks at 8 o'clock on ESPN. And at 10 Eastern, West Coast time, number 3 Arizona hosting Oregon. All 3 games on ESPN and your ESPN app. We are at the Eddie Seymour Softball Complex. And we have another pitching change for the Lady Vols. Samantha Bender, the right-hander, will come on. as we welcome you into the press box. So good to be back with you as we get underway on a brand new softball season. Second week in on the road to the Women's College World Series. Beth Mowens, Amanda Scarborough, and Michelle Smith. What excites you? We got some great stories throughout the season. Of course, Jocelyn Allo chasing the home run record. Some new coaches out there around the country. What are you looking forward to?
You named a lot of it, but specifically back to this tournament, Miranda Ellis. She's back. She did play last season, and she was a Longhorn, was a Duck, and now she's with Oklahoma State.
I think just things kind of getting back to normal. Fans in the stands, people just getting comfortable. You know, back to the great diamond sport game that we are.
Well, a shout out too to Arizona head coach Mike Candrea, who has retired, taking with him those 8 national championships as Caitlin Lowe takes over at her alma mater, the Olympic gold medalist. Which means now, by the way, you know, it was back and forth the last couple of years with Candrea and Coach Hutch at Michigan. We have the Wolverines with us in town the next couple of days. And Carol Hutchins, 2 games behind Mike Candrea. So she may move to the career wins leader before we are through here in St. Pete, Clearwater. She's got 1,672 career wins. Candrea retired with 1,674. Could come as early as tomorrow evening. They've got a couple of games tomorrow, 2 more on Saturday. Tennessee will get the lead runner. They don't get the double play here.
Talking about how important it is to field your position, well practiced. But Ivy Davis a little bit on that turn over to first base. Ball gets away from her, but lead out, always so important for those pitchers.
Bethany Keene. Walked in the second and then reached on the error in the fourth. Her pinch runner, Deion Riggs, came in to score. Of course, the other thing we have to look forward to at the end of the road, we will have replay review throughout the season. Don't have it here. 2 down. But we will have replay review heading into the regular season and into the postseason. And of course, the expanded format this year at the Women's College World Series as we go from 7 days to 9 days with a scheduled day off before the championship series. Over to third base goes Flaherty.
I think that's a massive change. It's going to give a completely different feel to the Women's College World Series, right? We had the upper deck right, last year, and now the extra day. I just think the athletes being rested. How about the preparation?
I know, that's what I was thinking of. Yeah, I don't know if the coaches ever slept at the World Series if you are continuing to play deep into the tournament, because after you finish one game, then you're already watching film and looking at scouting reports for the very next game. So I don't, lots of coffee. I don't know, Red Bull or energy drink, I don't know, but.
Chocolate espresso beans.
Oh, don't get me started. Blankenship slow roller to second, and that'll do it. 7-2, the FSU lead as we head to the 6th.
At the end of 5 innings, it's 7-0.
UCLA and Florida State both at the Women's College World Series a year ago, and we will have them as the featured showdown on Sunday night primetime on ESPN at 7 o'clock. The Bruins join the party here tomorrow. They play Northwestern at 1 o'clock on ESPN+. And it is the dawn of a new day out in Westwood. Inside the Bruin bubble, no Olympian Bubba Nichols, no Olympian Rachel Garcia. They'll have a new look to their pitching staff. Still some big swingers in that lineup.
Yeah, and Megan Framo is one of the best pitchers in the country. The question mark there is who's going to step up behind her to give them some depth.
We'll find out in the next couple days.
Yeah, I really think we're going to get a good look up close and personal.
6, 7, and 8 in the lineup here for Tennessee. Ivy Davis. They are the reigning Pac-12 champions, the UCLA Bruins. And then Framo, the injury following their super regional win. She was not available for the World Series. That was a huge development. And ultimately they bowed out after they won their opener against Florida State. They lost to Alabama and Oklahoma. And one of the cool moments in the world of softball, standing ovations last year at the Women's College World Series when Rachel Garcia left the field for the last time, when Odyssey Alexander of James Madison left the field for the last time. Tremendous careers for those two. Garcia, the 2-time National Player of the Year. Off the glove of Cheryl, and it dribbles out into left. And Ivy Davis reaches for the second time.
How about Ivy Davis sitting on a changeup and just bashing this? Really good job of looking at it. It goes off of the glove of Sydney Sherrill. It's a 1-2 count on a changeup. That's really good hitting.
Kelsey Leach. Gets away from Watson. Davis into scoring position. The other thing, of course, that you're building for early in the season, not only seeing what your young arms have, but a team like Florida State with 2 veterans, if you have Danielle Watson and Kat Sandercock able to throw a couple of complete games for you every weekend, that's huge. Yeah. We've certainly seen the need for a couple of pitchers at the Women's College World Series.
Well, and a lot of it's becoming more of a pattern too, that you're seeing 2, 3 pitchers pitch in one game consistently for a team, so pitch by committee. And so it's always good when you can have one pitcher stay out there, have a low pitch count, be able to go the full 7 or deep into the game.
Yeah, that's the evolution of the sport. We actually now have relievers, in some places closers. I'm just envisioning the look on Michelle Smith and Amanda Scarborough's faces if their coaches tried to yank them out of a game.
Are you sure? You
put up the stop sign?
Exactly.
I mean, she's only thrown 71 pitches and we're in the 6th inning.
Yeah.
It's a great pitch.
Very efficient. And Danielle Watson strikeout.
You know, Michelle, the thing about Danielle Watson's rise ball is that she can expand the zone up where it's a blatant ball late break, or she can throw it lower through the zone like a low rise like this pitch that's about hip high. Still swings underneath it. She has such good rise ball movement.
That's her 3rd strikeout of the ball game. And the number 8 hitter, Lair Boutte.
You know, it showed a lot about Boutte whenever she came up in her last at bat. Led off the inning with the triple. Remember, just the half inning before that, when they were on defense, she was the one that led off with the air on defense. And you could tell that that brought her motivation into her next AB. She was pretty emotional when she got to 3rd base and really fired up her team. At least Tennessee was able to answer back after a really long inning on defense. She, as a freshman, was their leader that inning.
The wild pitch gets Davis to 3rd. We're gonna, our great crew out there. Joe Taylor, Anthony DeMarco. Look at the zoom in right here. Look at watch her eyes dart around the infield to check out the defense. Where is the hole I can hit this through? Our great camera crew Let's see if she does it again.
Little peek there.
Well, locked in on the pitcher.
Well,
Watson.
At this point with the runner at third, she's probably thinking, all right, I'm just working on getting that ball in the outfield.
Everybody's pulled in at this point.
Yeah. So this is more about putting on the green to get the run in. Since that second wild pitch moved her teammate Davis over to third. There's the eyes again.
Field able to slow it down.
Love that she went to that changeup, right? Again, a pitch that she's continuing to develop, a pitch that Ivy Davis hit to lead off this inning. And sometimes as a pitcher, when you're developing that changeup, you're oftentimes more timid to throw it with a runner at third base because you don't want it to get back behind your catcher. But that's what these early season games are for, practicing little things like that.
Boutte lifts that to left, and Mudge has the room. The throw to the plate will be cut off by Sherrill as Davis comes in to score at 7-3. Sac fly for Boutte.
Well, and the point about the changeup as well, Amanda, is that Lonnie Alameda continues to call that pitch, and she's going to call it in a situation when Watson's probably not very comfortable throwing it, but that's how you develop it. You have to throw it in uncomfortable situations and learn how to control it, learn how to throw it for a strike or put it in the dirt as a ball, but catchable for your catcher. All those little nuances.
Madison Weber will be the pinch hitter here in the 9th spot in the lineup for Caitlin Parsons.
In these early season games, it's such a fine line, a balance between wanting to try out a new hitter in a certain situation or a new defender, people battling for a position, but also wanting to win, knowing the importance of every single game. It's only February, but it is so important every single game come May, June, the selection show for seeding. So every coach has a strategy to try to figure out what buttons can I push to where I'm still getting players experience, I'm still practicing little things that I need to practice, but also we need to win. And you're an athlete, you want to win. You want to win every game, all the while practicing younger players in different situations.
As the sun continues to set, the shadows creeping across much of the infield and outfield now. Weber fouls one off. Don't forget, we got one more game to go tonight on ESPN Plus, Wisconsin and Notre Dame. And then tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Eastern on ESPNU, University of Michigan and Oklahoma State. You go Storako or Bobian tomorrow in the circle. One of the best pitching combos in all the land.
The deuce, not the ace. Coach likes this.
Deuces, not aces.
And Oklahoma State has a really deep pitching staff, too.
Yeah.
The deepest pitching staff that they've had there in a while.
Kelly Maxwell?
Kelly Maxwell, really good from the left side.
Ellish, Morgan Day, I mean, they have a really great staff.
Full count to Weber, and then the top of the order coming up. And the strikeout number 4 for Danielle Watson. 7-3 Florida State. Tater hitters due up, Mac Leonard. 3-run shot her last time up. A beautiful evening. The beaches of St. Petersburg and Clearwater, Florida. They claim they're the best in the business when it comes to the white sands and the surf. No complaint from us, that's for sure. No debate. Breeze blowing through the palms and the team flags. Half of the preseason top 10 are with us. 4 national champions, including these Florida State Seminoles from 2018. And the offense has been lively to start out the new season. And the 7-3 lead to the bottom of the 6th, 3 outs away from a win, and that is inside the bag for Janai Kerr, the top of the order, leading things off.
Janai Kerr, lead off, first hit of the game. She's going to get this ball. Looks foul, and it comes back fair. A lot of times you see the opposite. It's fair and moves foul, but it's a little bit of English on that. Picks up her first hit of the game.
Yes.
Kaylee Mudge.
Kaylee Mudge, couple of ground outs, and then walked and scored in that big 5-run fourth inning. Technically, this is not an official Thursday night throwdown, but they are coming.
Yes, they are.
Hats off to Dan Margulis and our programming department, Meg Aronowitz, Nick Rude, folks that are in charge of all our softball coverage. Mudge, right back up the middle, base hit. Florida State, by the way, will have 2 of the Thursday night throwdowns in Tallahassee. Things get underway April 14th with Oregon at Arizona. And then 4 straight Thursday nights throwing it down.
Leonard.
Pretty exciting.
Going to be a great season on the ESPN networks. Of course, your exclusive home for the NCAA tournament and the Women's College World Series. Oklahoma Sooners, probably, I don't know if I'd say prohibitive, but most folks would think they are the team to beat again this year, the defending champs. They lost their ace pitcher, G. Juarez, but they apparently have restocked the pond. And of course, that offensive lineup last year was the best that we've ever seen in college softball statistically.
Jordy Ball, their freshman pitcher, saw her pitch against UCLA live. I was in California for that game, and wow, just wait until they have a nationally televised game and you guys are able to see,
yes.
When I say you guys, I mean fans are able to see her.
We have their Thursday night throwdown, a little bedlam in early May from Norman, where the exciting news in the offseason was the unveiling of plans for a brand new softball stadium. It is going to be state-of-the-art, Loves Field. Going to be a terrific venue for college softball.
Next batter for the Seminoles, number 14, Autumn Belvey.
So with Mudge on board, and Leonard on board, and Harding hit by a pitch, a run will score. Excuse me, that was Belvey in there as the pinch hitter.
Number 24, Sydney Sherrill.
Yeah, ends up getting her back forearm, her left forearm. Could hear it.
So a couple of hits, a walk, and a hit batter, and now we're flirting with 8-run rule territory. And we will have another pitching change. They will go back to the starter, Bailey McCachran, when we return.
Returning to pitch for the Lady Vols is number 31, Bailey.
Water Elite Invitational, presented by Wilson, is brought to you by Visit St. Pete, Clearwater, Florida, and Wilson Fast Pitch, leaders in softball innovation.
Oh, that's out on the bay here to our east and to the west, the Gulf of Mexico. Eddie Seymour Softball Complex in Clearwater, Florida. Day one of our 4-day softball fest. And an 8-3 Florida State lead over Tennessee. If they get 3 runs in, the game is over. Sherrill at the plate with the bases loaded.
I think the one thing I've noticed so far in this tournament is how aggressive hitters are swinging at first pitches.
I agree, totally agree. That is so funny that you said that, because I thought it was just going to be certain teams, like you saw Tennessee come out, or certain players. I mean, Kiki Malloy led off with a home run, right? The first pitch. I cannot agree more. That's so funny you said that. I've been thinking it.
Well, as pitchers yourselves, was that something that you thought of early in a season? I need to really focus on getting ahead in counts to make a good first impression, so you know that they may be throwing a lot of strikes?
Yeah, I think that you have to control the strike zone, and that's one of the things that you see McCracken trying to do here. Starts out with that first pitch, strike, right? Even though it's a foul, working that outside corner, the curveball, and she just gets Sydney Sherrill to swing through that pitch. That's a tough lefty-lefty matchup. But Bailey going right after her, but absolutely, Beth, I mean, that as a pitcher, when you pitch from ahead, completely different situation than when you're pitching from behind.
So with one out, it's Edenfield, who had re-entered the game at the catcher spot.
I mean, look the way that McCacken just came right out, went right at Sydney Sherrill, the veteran. Bases loaded, she threw 3 straight strikes.
Started the game, got lifted in the 4th, and now is able to re-enter.
When she came out of the game, she wasn't pitching that. There were several defensive miscues around her, and Tennessee has had a bunch of pitching changes, but look where they end back on.
The difference in this game are the 3 errors.
Yes.
In that big 4th inning for Florida State.
Well, it's one thing to have 3 errors in the game, which is, you know, awful in a sense, right? But to have those 3 errors be in the same inning, it's beyond awful.
Yeah,
you know,
at the bottom of the lineup.
Yeah, your head is exploding. And as a pitcher, you know, you're just trying to help everybody keep the wheels on the cart.
If Tennessee can stay alive here, they do have the top of the order coming up in the 7th inning. Led by Kiki Malloy, the All-America candidate. Fly ball out to right. Runners will have to hold, 2 down. Devin Flaherty. First pitch swinging again.
Pitch to hit right there.
Four for 4 on the year for Devin with runners in scoring position. Oh, 2.
Bailey's been much sharper with that curveball away from lefty. She left it over the plate a little bit earlier in the game. She probably went back in that bullpen, worked on it. Just locating it better.
Flaherty goes oppo and diving in foul territory, unable to come up with it is Parsons. Terrific effort.
She got such a good jump, and as an outfielder, you see that ball in the air, knowing that you're going towards the fence, but you're like, I'm going to do everything I can to try to catch this ball. Perfectly lays out for it, and then it looked like it was in her glove right there. Great effort by Parsons.
Flaherty waits on the off speed, and a base hit will bring a run in as Mudge scores.
That's time for the Seminoles, number 3, Bethany.
Pitch just a little bit too far elevated, and Flaherty's going to get it down on the ground. Good job by Butte to keep that in the infield. Otherwise, there's a good chance another run would have been pushed across.
Yeah.
So now with the 8-run rule, the winning run stands at second base for Bethany Keene and Florida State. Keene walked in the second, reached on an error in the fourth, and then a ground out in the fifth. With Leonard and Belvey in scoring position.
Yeah, if you're Belvey, especially with 2 outs, you were getting at second base, you were getting a good jump every single pitch because you know you're the game-winning run. Just thinking if I can score, we can shut this game down.
Fouled out of play.
I mean, even on a foul ball, she's like almost to third base. She's just like, I don't want to score.
They can relax tomorrow morning. Their next game will be at 1 o'clock on ESPNU against Texas tomorrow.
That would be a good one.
Yeah.
I mean, we say that about every game here. Every game here.
Almost every game's ranked versus ranked.
Yeah.
Keene to Davis at short. She gloves it. To the seventh we go. Top of the order and the last chance for Tennessee when we come back.
Again, in 6 innings, it's Seminoles.
Beautiful night. St. Pete Clearwater Elite Invitational presented by Wilson. Can even appreciate the seagulls with a vista like that. Don't know if that's ever been mentioned before on national television. We've got a pitching change for the Florida State Seminoles. Their other ace, Kat Sandercock, coming on out of McLean, Virginia.
Senior with a lot of experience, really good movement. Great compliment to Danielle Watson, who's speeding at the top of the zone.
The new pitcher for the
Sandercock
Seminoles is number 32, Catherine
likes to
Sandercock.
hammer the lower half of the zone. She's got a good changeup.
Leading off for the Lady Vols, number 9, Kiki
She is in the
Malloy.
high 60s, but she's known for her drop ball. She has developed that rise ball. That's what Lonnie always likes to do. You have to change that eye level, but it's the changeup mix of speeds that also makes her a deadly weapon.
And she comes on to try and register the final 3 outs. They get the leadoff hitter, Kiki Malloy, 1 down. All ACC arm a year ago. She was on the All Women's College World Series game, went 3-2 in Oklahoma City last year. And now 2 outs away from the win. Amanda Ayala had the RBI single her last time up in the 5th. 4 Florida State. Kaylee Harding a 2-run home run in the 1st. Mac Leonard a 3-run shot in the 4th. They added a couple of more. Devin Flaherty an RBI single in the 6th. And that pings off of Flaherty. And a 1-out base runner.
Like there's some bad hops out there, or maybe she just sat back a little bit too much, but it's been a long day on these fields too, right? So this infield a little bit tough to play on sometimes.
Well, the grounds crew does a terrific job keeping things in shape. You're playing multiple games, multiple days in a row.
That is the Lady Vols, number 7, Ashley Morgan.
Ashley Morgan got hit by a pitch in the 1st. A couple of, well, 1 ground out and a pop out since. Slow roller to 1st, 2 down. Don't forget ESPN Plus. Coming up at the bottom of the hour, Notre Dame and Wisconsin. And then our full day tomorrow starts at 10 a.m. on ESPNU with a dandy. Michigan and Oklahoma State. And tomorrow night we'll cap it off. Our crew will have LSU and Washington.
Good ones. They're all good. Like we were saying, they're all
Can't
good.
wait. That's gonna be great.
It's just a different day. Good games, just different day.
Zeta Pooney.
You know, there are a lot of talented freshmen that showed off big time.
Olivia Johnson.
Weekend. Yeah, Ojo.
We got Alo, we got Ojo, we got great nicknames around college softball.
Jordy Ball. It's a good pitcher's name.
Yep,
Yeah.
it is. Yeah, this class is going to have a big impact.
Yes,
40 games in 4 days that we've got coming your way from the St. Pete Clearwater Elite Invitational presented by Wilson. (3-1) from Kat Sandercock.
Sandercock just good job of just locating that pitch on the inside corner right underneath the hands of the righties. Makes it tough to extend, get that barrel on it.
Full count. Well, it's been fun to watch her development too. You know, she comes in on the heels of their national championship after Megan King. You know, the latest in a line of really good arms they've had at Florida State. Dad had the big pitching barn that he built for her out in the backyard so she could train in some of the colder weather days in Virginia. Right back at her and over to first. And the Florida State Seminoles get the win over Tennessee 9-3.
The final score is Florida State Seminoles.
For Michelle Smith and Amanda Scarborough and our entire crew, thanks for being with us. Head on over to ESPN Plus, 6:30 first pitch for Notre Dame and Wisconsin. And join us Friday morning, 10 Eastern on ESPNU. It's Michigan and Oklahoma State. We're only just beginning the St. Pete Clearwater Lead Invitational presented by Wilson.
Northwestern and Texas Tech.